we go. Let's get into some champion select and see what's going to be banned away here. As so far, Wolf, what has been your take on the new patch that we've had?
It hasn't changed that much, honestly, to me. Like, especially with all the tweets I saw about the minion aggro change, I thought, like, the world was going to end. And then, like, it doesn't even... Like, when we cast
and Chovy was like, why would you make that change now? It's going to destroy everything. Nothing.
When we cast the first game of the patch on Road to EWC, I didn't even notice. I didn't even realize we were on the new patch. Like the first game, and someone mentioned, I was like, oh yeah, that is changed. But let's see what happens in this draft. That Taeyun Ezreal in game one, that scenario I laid out is not going to come to pass here. It will be banned away from him. Bard is gone. Career is not going to get his hands on that. I think Bard is a really strong ban in general right now, but Career has had so many important games carried by his Bard, as we've seen even very recently against Teddy. As there is the Cassiopeia ban. I think this one is, that's my real read on the patches. This is the strongest mid laner right now that we have seen, and it is very blindable. And it's surprising to me that BNK Fearx first pick here do decide to ban it. Vikla does not go for it. So Rumble. Final ban here. Varus is gone. The Orianna is available for Vikla.
So Orianna and Karma both up and available. I think D+ actually gave over both in one of their most recent series. It went horribly wrong. I hope they don't do that again. But it's not going to be Ezreal Karma, which we have seen find a fair bit of success. And so likely to be something like a Jarvan Karma to be locked in here, then a Caitlyn perhaps, or a Jhin.
You can go with the Karma here. You can go Karma Sivir because you have the Jarvan.
Yeah, true.
Feels very good. Feels very flexible here. Nocturne is banned in giving over the Orianna, so we'll have to see something different in the jungle here.
Yep.
We could just see Pantheon early on if they want to play through the bottom lane. It's very, very strong there, but it's more likely just going to be a little bit boring, and Xin Zhao will come through with this Orianna. Yeah. Although, they want to fight fire with fire here in this bottom lane. A Lucian Milio lane into a Karma is definitely something we've seen a few times this season. Can be very tricky to pull off, but I do think Taeyun and Kellen, who are, you know, really, really strong in 2v2 for a lot of this season so far already, and have dominated a lot of lanes.
Yeah, and I also
to get it done.
Yeah, I really feel like the Milio, especially for Kellen, suits his playstyle so well. Like, this guy is an ambulance, the support player. Like, that's how he kind of plays the game. Really good at putting out fires. And Taeyun always going forward and using that relentless pursuit as it would be named as Smash. Looking to go towards the Jhin, much to my chagrin, but that is fine. Caitlyn is another option. The Sivir, like you were talking about, I feel is also very, very strong, but instead they want to get that range advantage, and the Caitlyn will be pulled out.
I much prefer the Caitlyn because I think if you go for Jhin here, the rest of your draft is pretty face-up, and the enemy team can take away some of the frontline picks you need to have to make that Jhin succeed. So now, a little bit more up in the air, what the top is going to look like here for both of these squads. The solo lane here for D+ Kia is not yet revealed, either of them. And jungle can be banned away from Raptor, so Lee Sin is going to be gone. And I would not mind a Naafiri ban here either.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. Raptor has been one to dive onto the Naafiri when he has an opportunity to do so.
Showmaker's Victor laning phases have been insane, so I think that is a warranted ban given the meta as well, and Victor being very, very powerful at the moment.
I'm looking forward to when he locks in Zyra and says, this is my answer to Orianna, and it's going to work this time. Because it's my favorite mid laner, and I just would like him to do it. The best thing about Zyra is you just press all your buttons and die, and it's completely fine. Used to be better, obviously, with her old passive, but still, it works.
What about Syndra?
Ooh, I hear that Showmaker has played that one before, too.
I think he really likes Syndra into Orianna as a matchup, but
Orbs.
I don't think he'll be playing it in this game. It would be fun to see. I think a lot of this is going to come down to who they want to put Shiu on. He will have the opportunity to counterpick, since Showmaker should counterpick here, and then he'll have a lot of options. Or
he just plays his old favorite. There you go. Man, imagine if it was a Katarina angle. Oh, incredible. Instead,
Ryze.
Pure boredom right
here.
Yeah. could have been more exciting. There's the Nefiri that you were talking about.
I kind of feel like Nefiri is way better than Xin Zhao for this draft. I'm a little bit surprised that they did not ban it, just because it's great for Orianna. And since this is a blind matchup here and it works really well with Lucian and it can be a problem against it, I do like this Sion pick. The problem with the Sion pick is that you're just walking face forward into either the Gnar or what I expected was a Renekton. But now there's so much late game damage in this draft here for D plus Kia. Engage is solely based on the Jarvan for the most part. Obviously, you can follow up and set up Engage with like a Rune Prison. Karma can technically engage, and so can Gnar if he has his Gnar bar in the right spot. But that's going to be him trying to hop around and try to set that up into the Lucian, Orianna, and also Nefiri that can burst him down while he's still mini. So it'll be very difficult. Not to mention Emilio can mess that up pretty easily as well. If you're trying to look for a big Gnar, Emilio is nearby, can really allow the re-engage to come through quite simply.
I think that Kellen's in a really good spot this game to really save BNK Furex on this Emilio.
I like D+'s draft because I think it's going to give them a lot of tempo, and then when they get to the late game, they're going to have a lot of power just in general with 3 real strong late game threats that scale really well. And the Gnar side lane problem is going to be something I think is difficult to answer for BNK. But if BNK get the ball rolling early and start to get an advantage here, they can absolutely run away with this game with Taeyun's Lucian. Taeyun is very good at snowballing games, and they have the right setup here. I just do think that they're going to need to make sure they don't lose control in the mid game, because otherwise it's just going to end like right there. One bad team fight post 20 minutes. GG.
Yeah, could be a real problem. It was very cute to see Steven Max and Rather walking out together, obviously formally on Griffin, and being able to share some words after the draft. Let's see who's going to reign supreme after game number 1. Oh my goodness! Chijijik Lopak is going ballistic today, and it's fantastic to see. As already, BNK Furex in position here on this bottom side, as Xiu just taking a little bit of a wander around, seeing what he can find. No Scions just yet, as they do pass each other by. Taeyun and Smash are going to find one another. Peacemaker is going to miss, though. Good early trade for BNK.
Yeah, it's definitely going to like that one, but they will have to take the long way around, so that will help the Smash and career side of this. I am very interested in this mid matchup because it is Showmaker playing one of the most boring picks he's played over the last few matches into Vikla playing one of the strongest picks this year on this patch in general with an Nefiri to set it up. So that jungle mid matchup is where I think a lot of our eyes will be glued. But bottom lane here going pretty well for the Caitlyn Karma as it starts. Very much the ones who get to dictate the pace, and it's Taeyun and Kellen have to find their opportunities.
Yeah. Smash has missed almost every Peacemaker, though, so BNK Furex's health bars could be a lot lower. However, you can see they're already getting pushed away. So irrespective of that, it is still problematic. As we did see Orianna as a bit of an answer to the Ryze when the Ryze was the one that was very strong. So an interesting choice for Showmaker to go with this, despite the fact that it has been generally pretty good for the Orianna, given the fact that she can kind of outrange what the Ryze wants to do.
Lethal tempo Gnar as well here for Xiu is pretty cool to see.
Just like going that. For mainly mini Gnar. Let's make that one work, because Xiu hasn't lost on this champion. So I guess he does have room to experiment.
It is his best pick this season across both LCK as well as the Road to EWC and LCK Cup as well. Just fully solid on it as Vikla takes a lot of damage here, but should be fine. We're going to see the Showmaker fast recall and see if this lethal tempo can generate a huge lead here for Xiu into the Sion matchup. It should be able to put a lot of pressure on. We just see the Doran's Helm start here for clear as well, since that item got buffed.
Yeah, new and improved. Bit of extra health, feeling a little bit nicer there. As the Fire Kick not going to connect, as the Inspire was there for Korea. And Korea has had actually some pretty good Karma games, honestly. Even though Karma doesn't necessarily scream mechanical prowess, he has been able to get things done on this pick.
You know, I don't know how much of an inspiration it was to play under Gumayushi, but Smash, his Caitlyn is really good. It's the pick I associate most with him. He was playing Caitlyn in Challengers when Caitlyn wasn't really meta.
Caitlyn Janna, baby, yeah, let's go.
Ian Reckless loved the Caitlyn lanes, and he's played so much of it that You know, when he was flipping around a few different picks, the Jhin, I was like, no, just play Caitlyn. He locks it in, and you've got to trust. Obviously, you missed a few of his cues so far, like you said, but still a very, very strong player on this pick, and outside of lane as well. So, yes, this lane right now pretty even, as we do see Taeyeon dashing in.
Bit of aggression there. Good fire kick from Kellen, but this time around, the headshot is going to come on through as the net did connect. And Smash, good sidestep on the Ardent Blaze, but it's Raptor that comes down first, and a little bit of a misposition there as Smash clicks the wrong direction, does have to flash to get himself out of the way. Still had his barrier, but so does Taeyeon actually. Double sum still up for this Lucian.
Trying to bait.
Very aggressive. Korea could be in trouble, actually, as the Peacemaker is going to get soaked first by the Melio, and they're going to look for a little bit of a back here.
It was very funny to watch that exchange because it felt like both 80 carries were trying to set up for their junglers, but Smash's jungler was pretty far away, and he ultimately decides to flash there as I think he realizes, oh, okay, I think they're doing the same thing, and then he has to back out. And then we saw Career looking to do some extra damage there, but Lucid does not get involved in the lane. Nobody dies, but still that flash advantage for Taeyeon is going to feel very good for a Lucian.
Yeah. Certainly will. We've got Lucid and Showmaker with the biggest leads in this game so far. The Caitlyn lane hasn't necessarily been that point of power that we often expect, especially when paired with a Karma. But the Lucian Melio is certainly getting some work done here as they do come back from their first recalls. Do feel like Serrated Dirk is going to have a little bit of extra power here after they return to lane. So we'll see whether Smash can actually leverage that.
It really needs to start hitting those Peacemakers.
Well, good sidesteps that time around as the net not going to quite work out. It's still just able to clear out the wave pretty comfortably. And Taeyeon and Kellen still playing up, playing aggressively.
They have flash, so if Career thinks he can land a fire kick, might actually be the death of him.
Oh yeah, Career actually going to be able to find the snare here, but he takes a lot of damage as a result. Peacemaker comes through, headshots there as well. Barrier will soak a lot of that damage. So Smash now with barrier advantage, but flash advantage still there on Taeyeon.
If they had looked for a big play there, I think it would have been incredibly risky. Smash and Career, that is, to try to get the punish and wisely just back away. We've seen a lot of near disaster in that bottom lane. It's been very volatile. The observers are right to watch it, but it has been pretty even as the lead is still there for Smash despite the lack of flash. No punish to come through.
Yep. And now they should have a cheeky little Ocean Drake as well. As far as early dragons, the Ocean is pretty strong, especially for a lane like this that has a lot of shielding, but not a lot of actual healing outside of Career's self-heal, as he does get another snare. Taeyeon not going to get trapped this time around, though, as Smash, I don't even think he had the mana for it, but still not able to get in range. Still, it's going to be Taeyeon going home once again as Lucid searches. See if we can find a target here. As there's a Mega Gnar from Shu, finds himself a good little wallop. And Gnar's back clear, finding a fair bit of damage as we can see, and even picks up the cannon.
That's beautifully done. See, that's clean. Showmaker really running away with this lane now, by the way.
Zoned him out of a cannon's experience.
He has already teleported, and so he is really putting the pressure on here and has 2 plates already. Suddenly, Showmaker has a 500 gold lead.
Yeah,
just like that.
I take it all back. Yeah, Ryze was the hard counter to Orianna. This lane is unplayable. Send help, please, for Vikla. I'm not sure how that went so disastrously wrong, but it is not working.
It's certainly not. Showmaker is looking for a Realm Warp play bottom side as well right now. Is not heading back to lane. Wants to set something up here with Lucid. Lucid can hold them in place. Taeyeon is so far forward.
Oh, God, this is so doomed. Realm Warp going to come on down, and he knows that he is dead. Showmaker going to come on over as Lucid just going to babysit him for a moment. Does actually pick up that first blood. And BNK, at least Vikla gets some time in the mid lane, but otherwise, it's not exactly the greatest moment there for Taeyeon.
Yeah, Showmaker is going to head back up here pretty quickly. It does have Ghost. Vikla needs to be careful about overstaying. He's going to be fine here, I think, but definitely a scary possibility that could have happened. Kellen's here to cover, and it's just going to be that gold lead reduced by about 30% here in the mid lane at least. Like you said, they get something back, but there's just a really heads-up play here from Showmaker. And Taeyeon just doesn't have vision in the jungle. Like, there's a control ward there. And I don't know, it just felt like it was way too heavily indexed into the pressure there. And I mean, Showmaker's Realm Warp catches them off guard. Down he goes.
Yeah, now there is gold leads absolutely everywhere for D+. 1.3k going to be their lead just in general, as there is a smite from Raptor. Cataclysm over the wall, and Raptor has to flash to get out of the way. Lucid still looking for more, as he finds himself an enemy red buff as well. Raptor just going to have to get out of here and should have to give away his red at the same time. Did get 2 grubs, so there's that, but it's not really going to be much for the consolation prize.
Yeah, it's definitely feeling like Lucid was like, oh, you think you can get away with this? I will make sure you realize why you cannot. Flash advantage. Red buff is another all-in down.
Whoa, he's flashing on top of Smash. He should actually be able to get this one done. And there it is. Korea now having to run for the hills, and Taeyun is mad about that gank from earlier and gets his revenge.
Yeah, really aggressive flash there, but pays off as Career is also going to have to back away here. Really wants to get these minions.
Yeah, should be able to get at least the experience as he finds himself the Mantra Q. He's trying to keep them interested, but there isn't anyone else on the way.
So let's see what happened here exactly. Smash has a health deficit. Does not have barrier. So Taeyun is just like, I'm just going to get on top of you. There's no way you can fight back.
Yeah, and they had the ulti from Kellen, so the snare from Korea just was never going to be enough.
Not going to help you at all. Really nice timing there, well communicated between both players. Like, hey, I'm going for this. I think we got this guaranteed. It felt like they knew mathematically he's dead. There's just no chance, and they just pressed the buttons.
It was well done. There is now an opportunity, obviously, to try and punish Taeyun for that flash usage, but I don't think they're going to be too worried about it. Now has a gold advantage for himself, and the Lucian being ahead is a requirement.
Yes.
For BNK FearX, so you can understand why they indexed so heavily into making sure that that happened.
When there's a Gnar with lethal tempo and a Caitlyn and a Ryze in the late game, the tanky Sion just isn't that tanky, actually. So Lucian needs to be the main character, and so far, you know, Taeyun's been very confidently getting himself back into this one. That's the kind of play you have to have as an AD carry when you start to fall a little bit behind as a Lucian. You can't just be like, oh, I lost lane, I guess I have to play safe now. You got to have that killer instinct. You have to have the angle that, like, in your mind constantly. I think I have this opportunity. I'm going to fish for this. I'm going to flash for this. And, you know, Kellen communicated that one well, and keeping them in this game. But the game state is still fairly dire here for BNK.
Yeah, actually, like, I really do think that the calculation for the all-in is just really well done. As Taeyun does get hit by that Peacemaker. Nice little shield there as we've got a little bit of a gank onto Showmaker. The ulti comes through from Raptor, and Showmaker's running for the hills. Should be able to make his way out, though, as Raptor is able to go untargetable and avoid Lucid's flag and drag. He's taking so much as the Cataclysm comes in. Vickler in a lot of trouble as Showmaker's so low, but so is BNK FearX. Everyone limping away from the fight, and no one going to go down just yet. Meanwhile, in this bottom lane, Smash looking for an angle. There is a snare onto Taeyun once again as the Peacemaker will connect. The culling comes down. Barrier and Inspire going to soak a lot of it. And DK will be able to walk away.
And now that gold lead is gone here for Taeyun for a moment. Smash getting all those minions. This is a pretty aggressive Sion play.
Yeah, the Lumberjack making his way towards the bottom lane, but doesn't exactly find an angle. And the speed up from the Inspire is going to be pretty powerful. There's a teleport away towards the top lane as there is Xiu going, just doing whatever he wants behind the turret.
Didn't have teleport to come down here, but I don't think he was really that interested. He was happy to just get
I don't think he wanted to.
Yeah. And like, you know, the Ryze is a global, right? He came down and impacted that lane. The Sion's a little bit too slow to call him that, I would say. But it was a nice try, but it just didn't work out.
Damn, that Peacemaker really doing a bunch of work as there's the ace in the hole. Kellen now looking a little worse for wear. Lucid has a control ward around this blue buff, but he's spotted out as well. As the Q does connect from Korea once again. DK is super pushed up towards his bottom side, but everyone else is busy. And BNK just going to get zoned away from this turret. You can see that Smash is dealing with that wave moving on down. And Korea is so far up, just trying to corral them away from this outer turret in the bottom lane.
Might actually just end up being first brick off this play. Minion wave thinning out a little bit here. They're going to back away and just be happy with the additional plate. But so much farm was denied. And what was a small lead for Taeyun is now a very large lead. The second largest in the game here for Smash. It picks up the Collector first. And when you have this much damage across your roster, and in the early fights, a Sion isn't going to be really in the fights too much. I actually like Collector first in this game.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite in general, but I think with the squishy members that you're going to be focusing down, it feels really powerful right now.
I actually think that Collector as a first item is always the right way to do it. Collector as a third item is what bothers a lot of people. and you can understand why. But right now, Smash is on a bit of an item spike as Lucid gets into the back of this pit. There's a shockwave onto the job, and he goes in, looking for an opportunity to take down this Drake, but he's not going to be able to do so. Now Smash finds himself alone. Vikler is so low, but they take down the Caitlyn as well, and they secure the Dragon. BNK back in this game in a big way after that.
Big send here from D+ into the Dragon. They really wanted to force that, but the reaction was quite nice from BNK as Lusa was unable to smite. It wasn't in smite range, and yes, Taeyeon picked up the kill, but BNK were able to just kind of hold him there and say, well, I mean, you went in for this Dragon, but you're not in range, so we'll just slowly kill you. Yeah. As Lucid goes for the Blast Cone engage, but the Dragon is at 2,000, so when he gets here, he's like, okay, and then they just stop hitting the Dragon. So he's like, please hit the Dragon so I can smite it. And he does not get it. It's fairly close in his defense, but D+ just completely commit to the play and lose Smash as well.
And yeah, clear rotated down. So it's just not really something that DK were in a position to fight. And I think they had all of the information. So I'm not entirely sure why they went for it. Still, it is going to be a huge boon for BNK to get themselves back into a good position as we get towards the thick of the mid-game right now. Smash and Korea position themselves just to try and fight back against this Lucian lane. But the thing is, this is exactly what the Lucian is picked for, like this moment right now.
Yeah. And let's see what can get done here, as I still think there's a scaling problem that we're going to have to talk about eventually, but now that can change. Right now, the agency is there for this 1.5 item Lucian. Got his Essence Reaver, who's trying to use it to push that pressure into this mid lane to get prio for this Herald. Teleport still not available for either top laner, but Shiyu is much closer if we are going to have that commitment to this fight. Could be a big factor here. Yeah. There's only 2 plates left on this mid turret, so if D+ get Herald, it will be the turret for sure.
Trying to get some vision control around this Rift Herald for now, as inside track did belong to Vikler, but the problem is, elsewhere, she was just playing side lanes, and he really has committed to like the Noguri Khan type playstyle of, I am going to win sides. We are going to be able to play through a 1-4 type split and be able to win games. And he is really committed to it, and I really do like it. He managed to take the turret.
Yeah, he's first brick here. The lethal tempo is working really well for him to apply the pressure in sides. Doesn't need Mega in this matchup. Smash is just going to avoid this.
Yeah, Wanda's out of the way of it. Korea could be in a little bit of trouble, though, as Taeyeon going aggressive. Dashes forward. Korea does get into the fog of war, as Lucid, with a cheeky little Q, they're able to offer a little bit of damage back. But every time this Nefiri hits a Q, this Cycle Sword is doing a bunch of work. They're now down into the river as they do get the teleport from the Scion to bring them over. We'll see whether DK do decide to play it a bit more safe.
Lucid tried last time on the Dragon.
Yeah,
they're going to commit the TP.
And Shiyu does have the Nabar in a decent position. Let's see whether they can actually fight for this or whether it's just going to be a team fight. As Lucid goes in, steals away the Rift Herald, and now Shiyu looking for an angle. Doesn't quite get the value out of the Gnar, as Kellen was right there. Taeyeon, though, still trying to skirt this one, as it will be Shiyu locking down that kill. Now Korea keeping the Melio at bay, and in the meantime, Showmaker is finishing off the rest. Anything you can do, we can do better, says DK, as they're going to find this team fight win.
Yeah, Kellen not going to be able to get the execute. It's going to be another here for Shiyu, who has had such a great game on this Gnar, and D+, they confidently contest the Herald ride as well. A bit of a success story on the top side of the fight. But watch, when we go into this replay, watch Shiyu and how he plays this, because he's a bit late. He goes and charges his Mega a little bit here. So he's got his Mega Bar set the way he wants to in this fight when he sets us up on the bottom side onto Taeyeon and forces him to flash, and he just does so much damage. He just continues to follow Taeyeon. Yes, Slash dies, but it doesn't matter because Shiyu plays this fight so well. The secure of the Herald is massive here because they use it in the fight to secure the kill onto Vikler, prevent the escape.
And Lucid actually keeps himself alive by using it, right?
Yeah.
Like, because he was so low as he launched himself into the Herald pit.
A lot of junglers there, I think, just go, well, I'll just use the Herald later. I'm just going to die here. I'm not going to use it in this fight, but he survives and gets a kill after Shiyu carried the bottom side of that fight. 2 kills now to the Gnar, who's 1,600 gold ahead. And that's great play. Like, he had teleport advantage, but he waits, gets his Gnar bar set up the way he wants to so he can fight immediately right where he wants to there on top of Taeyeon. And now Taeyeon is flashless. So flash advantage to the Caitlyn feels really good here for D+, and they're pulling into the lead already.
Yeah, it's a 0-3 Caitlyn, so we're not playing through the bottom side of the map. The thing is, Showmaker and Shio are so incredibly large that, I mean, Smash just needs to kill minions. That's basically all he really needs to deal with, as he does net away from the culling, which is going to be cancelled relatively early here. And Taeun, you can feel the desperation, right? He needs to make things happen on this 2-item spike, but it's just, I'm just so worried about what Showmaker and Shio are going to be able to do as this game gets further on.
That's always the concern when you're running this Sion-Lucian comp, especially when your mid laner is a little bit more burst-oriented, as they're going to try to grab this dragon. It isn't a Hextech soul in this game, so important every single one of these, but they do not have control right now, and D+ are closing in.
Yeah, Showmaker looking to move up, and Raptor is going to have to give up on this dragon. He decides instead he wants to kill Showmaker, but he just realm warps away, and DK will take their lunch money.
What? And then Vikla TP's in late, and she was like, that's a free turn. What is this? They tripped over their macro shoelaces.
Yeah, it's lag, man. It's lag, unfortunately. Oh, no, it's like, ignore that.
Oh, my God. Oh, no. This moment here is a tragedy. It's a train wreck, because Showmaker's getting focused, and he gets away, but that's not the only issue. It's like, Vikla could have TP'd in way earlier if they really wanted to commit to holding this, but it comes at a heavy cost, right? Because Shiu doesn't have TP, he's not going to match, so you're going to lose the turret, but it means you're probably going to win the fight very convincingly. But they kind of just ran after the Rise. I didn't know he had taunt, but... and then Lucid's like, all right, cool, you guys are not defending the dragon.
Yeah. And
then Vikla shows up to not do anything and then lose the turret. So I think there were definitely split calls in that fight, it sounds like, from BNK. And when I say sounds like, I mean looks like, because I can't hear them. If I could, I would know that if there were split calls or not.
Yeah, it certainly seemed like something went wrong.
Seems like
in the realm of communication.
Like, yeah, but not sounds like, because I can't hear you.
All right, so we're playing charades now. Yeah. Good to know.
You know what, in this case, I might be a case where we're like, hear no evil. Because I really don't want to know, I don't think, what was going on in the comms there, because I think that a little messy might be one that gets reviewed by Edo and crew post-game. Taeun!
Oh dear, Taeun does have Kellen alongside as Raptor shows up as well. Lucid is going to die. Smash trying to get some damage down as Korea taking a lot as well from Taeun.
That was clean from Taeun. He baited them so hard, and Raptor was there for the punish.
All right, maybe a little bit of positive here for BNK as they look to take down this outer turret. Vikla taking some damage, though, as Showmaker. Man, that was like 3 abilities, and half the health bar of Vikla does just disintegrate. Shiu is just such a problem on this Gnar. I don't know how they're supposed to solve it, but I think ignoring it for now is probably what they're going to do.
Yes.
And hope that Clear can not die.
Just push it under the rug.
Yeah, exactly. The ostrich syndrome.
It's a mini Gnar. It's just push it under the rug. It'll fit.
Yeah, it's real small. Yeah, it should be okay.
He has a cleaver. Visage was just put together, which isn't going to be too helpful. Lucid definitely, I think, thinks, okay, Taeun has made a mistake here. He doesn't have flash, and then Taeun just outplays him, and then they have the damage from Raptor there. That was really clean. But, I mean, I think it's just a small win here for this 900 gold lead Lucian. His turret's gone now.
Man, he's still so happy to play aggressive, right? Taeun is just one mode. He is always dashing forward, looking for the angles. He has to in this game. Does take a fair bit of damage, but is able to at least get some control of this mid lane back as Lucid coming on over to the side. And Kellen just trying to keep Taeun as safe as he possibly can.
Lucid walking a fine line here. Was punished moments ago. Does have his flash available, but not going to commit any further. Showmaker is just hard pushing these waves into Vikla. Has a lot of topside prio, so they always have to consider now that their mid turret is gone that this Showmaker Rise, if he's missing, he could be realm warping behind them.
I think Huni was onto something, though, when he thought the POM was going to go to Showmaker. This guy is a man possessed today.
It's crazy, too, that like he's got Archangels in an uncompleted rod, but he just still does this much damage this early.
And
Wait
still
until he gets
has
that third
over
eye.
a full level in advantage over Vikla.
Yeah, and
so he's going to have more than 2 levels so soon.
It's crazy. And Vikla went for the more tanky build here with the belt, which is not going to help him burst with the Lucian in team fights, unfortunately. So I just feel like it's all gone wrong here for B&K very early on. And the poor Fearless Foxes are going to have to continue to be fearless around Taeyun. He is the only angle in this game. And that's how the draft was designed. So at least they do have the engine still firing here. But one more mistake and this game is done.
Yeah. And I think the point Dagon made about bottom lane being a win condition here for BNK is standing true. Unfortunately, the rest of the map is absolutely on fire. And that is not necessarily working out. The game is still not over yet, but it is looking a little bit worrisome. 3.5k, not end of the world as far as a gold lead is concerned, but DK have that dragon advantage. We'll see whether they can find themselves another team fight around a dragon, as that one's spawning in about 24 seconds time. Right now, BNK with a fair bit of control themselves, and might be able to get inside track on getting some vision around this dragon setup.
A teleport for Shiyu is available. Showmaker has his ult, and he has level 16 now. He is very big.
Yeah.
He's about to be level 17, so it might even briefly be like 3 levels up on
Oh my God.
He is ready to party. He's ready to fight, and they're going to try to hold aggro on this dragon. I'm not sure about this one being capable. They've got to try something. They've got to try to force a fight where Taeyun can get something done here.
Yeah, Shiyu doesn't have Mega at the moment, and it looks like DK may just give this one up. They will. And Shiyu actually, like, I think he was exhausted quite recently. And the teleport up towards the top lane to try and defend here from Clear. It's a lot of investment as far as summoner spells are concerned, but they do deny Soul Point. And I think that is a huge deal, especially when it's a Hextech Soul and it's a Caitlyn.
Yeah. For D+, this isn't going to be Soul Point against them. It's just the second one. So worth it to make sure you can take that ideal fight. And now they have Shiyu's teleport still. Clear had to use his, so not only is he winning the side, but he has teleport advantage for potentially a Baron fight. Because we're getting closer and closer to that, right? The IE has been done for Smash for a while. This Rise is getting close to 3 items, and at a certain point, D+ can kind of just look at the Baron, and the Baron just like explodes and gives everyone the money. Baron's like, listen, we don't have to do the whole dance. You guys can have it.
Yeah, he just sort of hands it over, and the Baron just goes back to the void. Showmaker has the actualizer.
Yeah, he does have it. Like I was saying, he was getting close. He actually does have it now. So now we're like just at the territory of it's going to happen. It's going to happen right now. They clear that ward in the Dragon Pit, and you better show up, BNK. You better be there fast. And without teleport for Clear, he kind of has to awkwardly always start walking away from these waves. He is just so pinned down on the map right now. Same with Vikla. Even with the swap with the Rise into the Scion, he has the MR. It's not going to matter. He's starting to build a little bit more armor now, but just feels like at this point, you've got one more fight in you. Maybe a Miracle Smite steal. Taeyun's maintained this lead the entire time, but it hasn't turned into any sort of map control or any sort of relevant pick to get them back into this game.
And Shiyu has only extended his lead 2.5k over the Scion. Obviously, the Scion is still going to do his job, but Shiyu is 3 items and looking absolutely deadly on this Gnar right now. We're going to fight against Vikla. Vikla isn't exactly Shiyu's best matchup. Hasn't gone for the Wit's End just yet, and doesn't have a lot of magic resist. As he gets the Gnar back onto Vikla, though, Shockwave going to be used as a bit of a hula hoop to try and keep Shiyu in place. And the wallop just on the wave means that Shiyu does need to crash to get himself out of the way, or crush, if I was to use the right word, for the jump ability of the Gnar.
Yeah, I feel like BNK were like, all right, look, Clear, you're a top laner. You got the extra XP, right? Showmaker's not going to be 3 levels up on you. And then Vikla's like, wait, that means if we swap, though, then I have to play against his top laner. And his top laner is 2 levels up and also has a 2,500 gold lead and has a Randuin's. I don't want to lane into him. The Randuin's isn't going to be all too useful into the Orianna, but, man, it is not looking like anyone is having a fun time here, as they have a lot of mid-prio right now.
And there is that little moment of 3-level advantage for Showmaker.
If they can start Baron and look for a turn, this comp doesn't have amazing turn because it's got Vilio, right? And the Orianna is stuck and pinned under the turret, but I think that's the only way BNK get a fight they want. Otherwise, D+ are just opting out, you know? They're like, well, we'll just keep pushing sides. Yeah, you guys got the push in mid, but you don't have the turret. And Taeyun has done a lot of damage, but it hasn't led to relevant damage. It hasn't led to kills, and now D+ are finally going to take the Baron's money.
Yeah, let's see whether it is going to work out here. As BNK, I think they know what's going on, but there's a lot of information. As never mind, Showmaker's just found Vikla and explodes him. Hits him with every button, and down goes the Orianna. Solo kill in the side lane, and maybe this just means Baron one more time. Is the, like, I don't know. Like, Vickler just, he had flash and just didn't have a chance to use it.
All right, I almost feel like D+ are kind of messing up the back row here. Like, Clear has no TP. They know this. They can just send the Gnar over, and it's free. And they are going to finally do it. Maybe it just weren't messing up the tracking. The summoner thought maybe he had his TP back up. He does not. He has ult, but he's so far away. He's finally now in the mid lane, but it's so slow. And Shiu is just ripping a new one out.
Yeah, Raptor is not going to be able to get in this pit for a steal. He might get to the death chamber, though, as Shiu is going to get kicked away. Takes a fair bit of damage, and now Lucid's delivered to the backline. And DK with their Barons, I think, should probably go for a bit of a reset, look to spend some of that money, and then continue the push. And that's precisely what they're going to do.
D+ playing a little bit timid, but making sure that there's no way that BNK can get back into this game. You could call it timid, I suppose you could call it safe.
자 이거 오리아나 쌈각 좋은데.
As he's like, I'm gonna actualize.
야 우리 잡았어 너한테?
As it turned out, he did.
That was, you know, translator's liberty taken, but.
Well, I think you know better than anyone else on this desk what he was saying. As Taehyun does take an ace in the hole, as Shiu is going to push out this top wave. And BNK, yeah, I mean, it's sole point they could grab for themselves. The question is,
Raptor's
do they
so
want to
low.
sacrifice their inhibitor for it?
Lucid has flash. He doesn't have ult, but I just don't think they can fight this. Showmaker doesn't have his ultimate either, but I don't know if they need him. He does have...
He can just wander over.
Yeah.
He's so close.
He does have Ghost, and D+ just trying to play the map instead here.
Yeah, there's no Scion as Showmaker is wrapping around. They will be able to secure the Drake. As now Showmaker seen on this ward. Smash taking a lot of damage from that dissonance as now Kellen looking for an angle. They dive on top of Raptor, who is completely separated from everyone. There is Kellen, able to use that ult to keep himself alive as Raptor is limping away from the battle, and it's Caitlyn that locks down the kill. Smash on the board, and Shiu in the meantime was hitting a Scion over and over and over again, and this inhibitor turret is looking a little worse for wear.
It feels like one of those rare games where D+ are not even concerned if BNK get Hextech Soul somehow because they're so far ahead, and the leads they have on these champions are so big that they're like, I'm slowed, but I'm killing you.
Yeah.
I just don't mind it. And they get that extra pick onto the Fury, and now they have so much push with the remainder of this Baron. Taehyun is not in a safe spot.
The flash in, there's a Rune Prison, and Lucid is going to take down the Lucian. Oh dear. Yeah, I don't know what BNK is supposed to do now. Raptor still dead for another 5 seconds. That's going to be a broken base, and that's why they didn't care about the Drake, because look at that Rebel Baron power play. It's 5,000. Lucid is just cataclysming forward as Showmaker gets a massive shield, puts down Vickler once again. And Lucid is absolutely fine. Raptor is going to go in. Showmaker goes golden, breaking that arm guard. Doesn't have his flash, and let's see whether he gets taken down. It is the Scion that locks up the kill. Shiu is the one now taking damage into his own hands. And Smash looking to try and push through towards these Nexus turrets. Only one left remaining, and it looks like D+ are looking to end this game right here. Raptor is going to come on over. Smash needs to get some damage done to this Nexus, or does he? As the minions are doing a decent job, and there's that 50 gold going over to the Caitlyn. And D+ will be able to take game one.
Played this game was the weird late teleport from Vickler, and all of that happened there.
God,
it
yeah.
felt like there was almost like some tilt there or some miscommunication in that moment. But the game was already well and truly in D+'s hands at that time. And you look at the damage share here, it's practically just dead even across D+. They didn't need to do a whole lot of killing of the champions in this game. It's
야 수야 야 봐볼게. 너 빨라. 얘들아 우리 나피리 봐줄게. 나피리 봐줄게.
사이언 빨리지 말고 사이언
나 봐줄래. 헬 좀.
사이언 보자 사이언
쉴드.
사이언 때려봐 사이언
쌍둥이 해볼래? 쌍둥이.
상당히
진짜 쌍둥이 쳐봐.
그냥
야 15초.
루시안 13초야. 끝낼만해. 끝낼만해. 쳐봐. 끝낼만해.
쳐야 돼. 계속.
끝나. 쳐봐.
줄게
끝내봐. 나피리 노공이야. 나피리부터. 끝난 거 같아.
다음 봐도 안 질 것 같은데?
몰랐던 거. 나이스.